Hi, my name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Don't go anywhere. I have 17 years of technical analysis experience, and I'm about to go over the biggest assets in the world to help you get a hold of what's happening in the world around you in finances. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, the total market cap of all of cryptos, the total market cap of all the altcoins. We're going to look at the NASDAQ, the S&P futures, gold, and we're also going to take a look at the DXY and more. So if you're ready for that, if you love technical analysis, if you study the markets, this is the place for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and put a comment down there. I love reading the comments. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Here we are on the weekly for Bitcoin. 61,500 is my line in the sand. 2 days, we have a weekly candle close. We have to have that candle close above 61.5. If not, it is very likely we do end up heading lower and challenging this $57,000, $58,000 level, 55 and 54K. If we don't want to see 55, 54K ever again, we must close the candle above 61,500. It is just so important. So we're watching in 2 days for that to happen. It's in 2 days and 8 hours. Always right click and hit countdown to bar close so you know when your bar is closing. If you want to look at some other ideas here, it's the daily. The daily has what's called hidden bullish divergence. You have a swing up in price action. We have a swing down on the RSI. Lack of bearish momentum, and you're right on a high volume node, as well as SR flipping this previous resistance as support. Can we get the bounce? Could this be the last possible chance to accumulate an altcoin or Bitcoin before a massive rally ensues? This does even bring us to a new all-time high, if I'm correct. Yeah, to 73,000. Or right to the all-time high, a bit shy, maybe $100, but it brings us there on the measured move. This is hidden bullish divergence, suggesting we can get the bump to the upside. However, it's all about the 4-hour, which is hovering so closely here. I'll show you on the 200 MA. Not sure why I wasn't there. There you go. So we bounced off the 200 MA here very nicely. And that's what's been really keeping us alive the last few days. A bit of a kind of a shoulder. See that? A head and a right shoulder, even though it's ugly and a lot of wicks. And so far, the 4-hour showing signs of life. I like to do this macro, but if you're just trading today, or just watching how the 15-minute is staying above the 200 MA. You see that? We lose that. That could kind of, be more into the downtrend. We stay above that. It says that the bigger time frames could kind of continue further to the upside. So watch your 3-day chart. Mainly watch the daily hidden bullish. We're looking for this flag to break back to the upside. The first place, if I was in a swing trade, take some profits, would likely be that high volume node at 63,680 and up here at 66,000. So I'm a little more bullish on Bitcoin. However, I'm weary. We're still in the middle, but this reversal was good. It does suggest that next week we will be higher than we are right now. It's showing signs that this hidden bullish will play out. When we're on this, this live stream here on the 11th, because that's 7 days from now, I should be showing you that Bitcoin is somewhere up in here or has at least broke the high of 65.9. If for some reason during the week we lose the 200 on the 4-hour, that'll be detrimental sign. So if you lose this yellow line on the 4-hour, I would begin to short. It does resemble a bit of a bear flag. Look at that right there. And we have overbought stochastics. The daily really will have to come through and pin this 4-hour. So I'm getting mixed signals. The 4-hour a little bearish, the daily somewhat bullish. You know what I mean? The daily should push through. But I watch the smaller time frames for confirmation, and that's how you should be trading Bitcoin, in my humble opinion, for the rest of the week. We take a look at total, the market cap of all of cryptocurrencies, and it's in a beautiful cup and handle on the 3-day chart, about to explode and have our massive rally come for us. We're getting so close to bull on. It's only up season, but we do have to kind of go through the macros here and see what's happening. I'm in a live trade right now, up $143. Wow, let's go. So right here on total, we're getting the bounce off the 21. I like to see that shoulder head, kind of right shoulder its way out. I don't want to come back down to the bottom of the pattern. 3-day chart is kind of, pushing down on us. If you look at the weekly though, the weekly says, hey, we need to push, but we hit this resistance. Let's see if this weekly candle can close above, on the total market cap of all of cryptocurrencies, above 2.177 trillion. If we break that, we can gap up quickly back to 2.5. So otherwise, we close this candle below like this, we could come back down and retest the lows of this trend line. Not saying it's guaranteed, but those are the two options that I'm looking at. Because the weekly looks so good, because the daily is resetting, and again, the daily has the same hidden bullish divergence that Bitcoin does because the dominance is big. So it does suggest this hidden bullish divergence plays out 90% of the time. I have to be honest, as a technical analyst, this suggests that next week we will be higher than we were lower. So when I show up here, we should be up in here or have kind of hit the double top and have played games somewhat, but we should have made more candles moving to the upside based on my years of doing this. And I could be wrong, but that's what I'm looking at, all right, for BTC. So that was total. Now we're on total 3, the entire market cap of all of the cryptos excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We want to see what these altcoins are doing. Now, they were a little more aggressive, smaller, so they broke up harder. In my opinion, they did breach this trend line and broke out. Came back down to test the trend line. So here's the deal. We hit this trend line and come all the way. If we lose the trend line, we come back inside the pattern, for sure. And we come and test the 200 here, and maybe the altcoins have one more gap down. But we could look at this kind of like a shoulder, a head, and another right shoulder that could break up, and a bit of a trend line right there, kind of an ascending triangle, right? So what we want to see is we want to see this 3-day candle close bullish in the next 1 day and 8 hours, and then we want to see the next 3-day candle push. I want this to play off like what's called a retest. You came up, you broke down, you retested off of this trend line for the solidification that was support. That's what we're looking for. It looks absolutely beautiful. So far, so good. This does suggest that next week we also will get the retest. However, the 3 days coming down, we need that to flip. And it brings you back to the daily. Do you have hidden bullish divergence on the daily? You do, just like you have on Bitcoin. So the altcoins have the hidden bullish. Bitcoin has the hidden bullish. We're retesting this key area. So here's the deal. If you close a daily candle below this trend line somewhere here, it's likely going to drop to the bottom. As long as you stay out here, it's going up. So we have to assume we're on our way to the upside. And next week, Bitcoin will be higher than it is today. That's what this macro technical analysis video is telling us. All right, so Bitcoin dominance. So our next chart is Bitcoin dominance. You can see we had it in this rising wedge and the channel just continued. Bitcoin dominance continued to rise. Ethereum just doesn't look that hot anymore, man. People just aren't into Ethereum. It's not the thing, man. It doesn't have a fixed supply. It's infinite. Bitcoin is the one, man, and everyone wants Bitcoin more. And you can see Bitcoin dominance really bouncing. The last time we were here, we saw the flag coming down, I believe the 27th of September, and I said it's likely to come and bounce. And then we want to see if this falling wedge can break to the upside. So far, that's exactly what happened. It looks like we're going to trend like this. Give to the altcoins, and then Bitcoin's going to go on that massive tear. It's going to go to the 100K. Then we're going to slowly give back, and the altcoins are going to go on their run. But I see altcoins still moving up with Bitcoin, still opportunity-wise, but eventually Bitcoin's going to take the cake. I see a little more pump here, sideways price action. Only a matter of time, though. It's showing you that Bitcoin dominance does want to go parabolic. And when it breaks out, it's going to break out the length of this base. And honestly, that has a pretty big move. That suggests that we can fly all the way. I mean, Bitcoin dominance could go to 64% of the whole market. And that would make sense, man. If that many people are fiending into Bitcoin, that would make a lot of sense. So that's what I see happening for Bitcoin dominance. Tether dominance. Got a little bit of a pump recently off this falling wedge, like we said. But we want to make sure that we get rejected either by the 200 MA or this point of control right now. That's what we talked about. That's what this yellow line represents. So far, we're getting the rejection. I want to see the head. Pause. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? I want to see this make a head and shoulder pattern. That's what I'm looking for. And I want to see this come here and then bounce further to the downside. That's what the doctor said when my baby was getting born. Hey, bada bing, bada bang. Show me that. Anyway, so can we get this right shoulder to break to the downside and the retest? If we break above this, that could spell a little trouble for Bitcoin. We want to see this continue as a bearish engulfing candle on the daily. I like what I'm seeing here. Let's make this right shoulder retest and continue further to the downside. Remember, I have this in a giant inverted cup and handle on the weekly that suggests it's going to pound to the downside. This would be our rally and a half to March of 2025. We would make a boatload of money for the next 6 months, and then we can kind of go on from there. So beautiful move for Bitcoin if this plays out, and it's looking like it may. The DXY, we talked about it getting above the 200 on the 4 hour. We weren't happy about it. I made this flag the last time we were here on the macro analysis video. Even if you just watched this video once and nothing else, you'd be with me on this idea. And I said, watch out for this flag to break to the upside. I even circled the measured move. I got it from here. Bang, we broke out. We broke the smooth and the 200 MA. Interesting to see the DXY and Bitcoin both pumping today. Why is that? Well, Bitcoin's an alternative asset, has its own source and its ETFs and stuff. And if people want to get into Bitcoin, it will pump. But the dollar, also an alternative to other currencies throughout the world. If people have rode other currencies up and they're starting to get a little more overvalued against the dollar, they're going to flip back to the DXY. There's going to be a couple days where Forex traders flip back to the DXY from the yen, from the pound, and they're going to pump the price of the DXY at the same time that the Bitcoiners are pumping the price of Bitcoin. They are inversely correlated, but there are days they're going to pump together, and there's going to be days they dump together. I've seen it many times, and you will see it too. So what do I see happening? We're looking for a bearish div, really. We want to see this momentum begin to falter. Right now, it looks like it wants to continue. Headed for the smooth moving average on the daily, on the 8 hour. So, wow, we're getting some push here to the upside. But, you know, again, we didn't break the 200 MA yet or anything. And look at this. It was an Adam and Eve double bottom. This is why we play these patterns. Look at that. Adam and Eve double bottom. It says you're headed up to 103. So, for whatever reason, the DXY getting hungry here, but then not affecting Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still ripping, which is kind of like not what we expect. So this is the one that is the most confusing right now. Let's kind of break it down again. So what do I see happening to the DXY? Well, you're overbought on the daily, but you got legs still on the 3-day with a bullish engulfing candle, a massive move up here. You know, I have to say it suggests that at least for now, we're going to see a continuation to the 200 MA on the 3-day chart. If you breach that, wow. You know, we want to see that get resistance and fall down. But it does suggest for the next couple of days, it looks like the dollar will be trending to the upside. I'd like by Wednesday of next week that we start to falter and we fall through. Watch my live stream for an update on the DXY around Wednesday. Gold. We talked about gold breaking out. I used to give you this gold cup and handle back in the day on my channel before anyone even talked about it. I said it's been in a 10-year cup and handle. It's breaking out. It told us where it was going to go. The cup and handle back then said, buy gold right now. It's on its way. And we didn't have to know about the mini printer. It said it's going to $3,000 an ounce, right? Then we zoom in here to the smaller time frames, and I gave you guys these flags. First, I gave you this flag on the 4 hour. I said, we're consolidating, look for us to break up. Then when we broke out, I said, watch this flag. It's going to continue to pump. I took the measured move. I said, I see gold headed up to about $2,700 an ounce, not too far from now. That has all played out. Every time I've given you a gold call, it has been spot on. Stop losses haven't even been hit. My next call for gold is to continue. And then the bigger chart is this rising wedge, which I see going all the way to $3,000. So only a matter of time till gold makes that bigger move, pumps huge. Remove the moving averages, look out for what it is. But I see this flag breaking out. I see the bigger channel, and we're headed to 3,042. S&P futures, I gave you this trade. You can move the stop loss to break even. It pumped beautifully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 21 days ago around there, I was giving this trade when it bounced, and everyone said we were bearish on a double top. I called this trend line and found hidden bullish on the 3-day and called the bottom. I did it last year too, and if you take the S&P trade, you'd be in the money right now thoroughly. I'm now drawing this 3-day chart. It looks like the 3-day is going to flag out a little bit before its continuation. They're going to continue to print some money. I see some sideways price action for maybe 3 to 9 days, and then I see it picking up steam again. We're headed back to 6,391. We're headed to 6,301. We're in all-time highs right now, right? We're in price discovery, and all I see is a continuation up. One thing we could do is we can get rid of this flag. We can extend this trend line up. That's a legit trend line, and we can extend this trend line up, and we can see that it's a rising wedge. Now, rising wedges break down 68% of the time, but when things are parabolic and getting crazy and you're printing money, you're going to run this up. Our next target for the S&P, and I've been spot on for the last year, 2 years and a half on this, is going to be about 65.53. All right, and that would be a beautiful 7-1 from where we, but we didn't get in there. I'm just saying the next trade will be something like this with a stop loss below 55.2. Right, that's a key support zone. Look for this to break out to 6,500, and it could actually do it by November or December. Like, we could have some, it looks like the dollar is, I don't know, something's going to happen here. It looks like stocks are going to go absolutely nuts. And if this is showing me that, because October 7th, right, for this to happen, it almost seems like Donald Trump has to get in office. I feel like the charts are telling us who's going to win the election. Without funny business or whatever, it's saying, hey, I just don't see how the charts would pump this much with Kamala Harris, and the charts tell you the news. So the charts are telling us, by probability's sake, that Donald Trump will get into office. I'm not trying to be on either side. I'm telling you what the charts are telling you. You do whatever you want with that information. The charts are telling us, because we know they're going to pump better with him. He's more of a stock guy, finance guy. He's more into crypto, Bitcoin. he gets into office, it's going to make people feel far better about investing in the stock market. It just is. And that's going to create sentiment, and that's going to create a pump. It is. I've seen it many times. You know, the other side gets in, and it's not going to be the same. So remind yourself of that. NASDAQ, I talked about this breaking out. I gave you the buy down there. It pumped out. We're just redrawing the flag again. Same scenario as the S&P. I see this continuing. It's just a little less lateral. Vertical. It's more lateral. It's not as much as a rising wedge as it is like a symmetrical triangle. I still see this kind of more bull pennant-esque, and with the way they're printing money, maybe one tap down here for a little bit, but I see us on our way to 24,000 somewhere by, and this keeps saying by December. And for a big move like this to run like that means some big news has to happen for the market. It's telling me that Donald Trump has to get in office. And again, it doesn't have to happen. We could double top, reset, and dump. But for this to play out, it's almost saying, hey, the charts want to break out. Trump gets into office. Everything breaks to the upside, right? Last but not least, I want to talk about SUI. SUI had a huge pump, went up to $2. Some people took some profit, some people didn't. I sold a bag. We'll see where it is. Now it's at 175. What do we do with SUI? Where do we sit? You know what I mean? Does SUI pull back? The 3-day chart suggests that it does. If we don't pull back, I say we at least go sideways for the next, couple of weeks. I'd be very surprised if SUI just absolutely rips out of this resistance. I'm looking for SUI to come back somewhere to 150, 140, where I can buy my last big bag of it and ride it off into the sunset up to $3. And that is my macro technical analysis video for everybody here. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video, and come here every single Friday. Get the knowledge, get the education, and feel free, everyone. I love you. You can, you will. You're all the best. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting my channel. Crypto Lifer, Sam Price. Crypto is life.